Okay, so I wanted to get to this topic here because you had earlier today, let me pull this thing up, Peter King, who does a fantastic job as always. He sends out his Monday morning breakdowns, Football Morning in America, Wild Card Weekend edition. And in it, he had a little bit of a blurb on John Elway. I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to read you a couple of comments from Mike Kliss's report as well from this weekend. And we're going to try to piece it all together and, I guess, put a picture in front of everybody on what the GM position looks like for the Broncos. So this is from Peter King. Said he's had enough. The president of football operations and GM of the Broncos wanted out of the day-to-day gig of rebuilding the franchise to the Super Bowl status it held 5 years ago, and so he told club CEO Joe Ellis last month this would be his last season running the Denver show. Probably just as well. Elway, who's 60, has failed to build a contender in 5 seasons since Peyton Manning retired. That Super Bowl title in 2015 meant the world to Elway, the architect, but the Broncos are just 32 cents. The team went into full GM interview mode over the weekend with 5 interviews Saturday and Sunday. When the process started, most people in the league thought the Denver GM job would be in name only, with the long shadow of Elway influencing every major personnel decision. Not so, I'm told. Elway will fulfill the last year of his contract in some football capacity. If I were the new GM, I'd tell Elway to stay home, bury himself in tape of top college quarterbacks and available quarterback vets, and come back with strong opinions about a 2021 challenger to Drew Lock, but has no desires to be the guy who signs off on the decisions anymore. No, this is a real GM job with real authority.
Yeah.
From Peter King.
And that's exactly right. That's what we've been trying to tell you since this thing got going. Everybody's got this conspiracy about this is going to be an Elway puppet and all that. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense from the Broncos side of the house. There's no reason for that. It's just somebody making something up because they that's what they do. John wants to take a step back. He's still going to have a title and all this kind of stuff, but the decisions are going to come down to whatever general manager they select. And John's going to want to select a good, strong general manager. This is his legacy. John's handing the torch off. He's going to want to select a good, strong general manager, or his legacy is going to be the guy who couldn't get it done after Peyton Manning and couldn't find a GM. So it doesn't make sense from any aspect because nobody's going to take the job if it's not really the job. And the Broncos, if they were just looking for a puppet, why not just keep John Elway? It doesn't make any sense. They don't have to change. People are still going to show up at the stadium. This idea that fans, or even more laughably, hot take radio guys put pressure on people to make these decisions is so stupid and out of touch and laughably incorrect. I don't know where to start.
So I want to couple that, what Peter King is hearing from the Broncos, from John Elway, who a guy, again, very connected, what he's hearing about the GM job. And then I'll tie that in with a couple of quotes here from Mike Kliss in his conversation with John Elway when he was asked about, he asked John Elway where he's at. He said, I'm tired. Led with, I'm tired. I worked hard at this. It's meant a lot to me. Obviously, with the disappointing season we had this year, and then with the opportunity to move up, I think it's time to take some time. So you have the combination, and me tying it all together, the combination of Peter King saying, listen, John Elway, when he said that he wants to step away and he's taking a little bit of a back seat in this case, and they keep framing it as a step up to that role, but let's just frame it more specifically to the GM when he's stepping away from the GM position. It's a legitimate GM position. It's going to be tough, I think, from people to see this, and I can absolutely understand the skepticism. Okay, I totally get it. But at the same time, you do have to, at least in the moment, acknowledge what they're saying. We'll see what they end up doing and how they actually handle this, but at least in the moment, this really seems like John Elway is trying to pave the way for the future of this organization and the future of the front office. It seems like that is an organizational decision that they have made. It was a little earlier than I think you and I anticipated, but it ultimately was one that needed to happen eventually anyways. And I think that they're using this opportunity and using this time.